Hello, YouTube friends. This is Richard Mabey with Richard Mabey Presents. Um, it's the 26th of December, 2021, and I probably won't finish editing and uploading this vlog for maybe 3 or 4 days down the line. So I think I have 2 more Christmas vlogs to put up, which I haven't been able to put up. It's been kind of busy, but I have it's morning, and it's a health food morning. I got the Entenmann's minis, so check that out. Entenmann's minis, health food, all the way with health food here. Open up the wrapper here. I remember New Jersey. I lived in Lincoln Park, and the next town over, and I think it was Fairfield or West Caldwell. I think it was Fairfield. On Passaic Avenue, they used to have an Entenmann's plant. I don't know what you call it, a plant, a bakery, factory. I don't think they have it there anymore, but they had an outlet store, and when I was a little boy, my mom and I would go there. They had the red mark and the black mark. And I think the red mark, it was only it was going to be expired one day late, or that day. Then the black had been expired, I think, 2 days. And you got everything half price. So this is I get no there's a remuneration. I get no money from Entenmann's, but this is the Entenmann's mini. So what are you gonna do? I mean, I'll have a good breakfast. It's early in the morning. So I get something there. Okay, so let's see how it is. Not bad. I'm still not used to eating on camera. I got the my Monopoly cup of tea, the boardwalk. They have a Monopoly boardwalk. It's this one, and a Monopoly Park Place. I have both of them. So let's see what I got here. When I was a boy, I guess in early grades, 6, 7, 8 years old, there's a fellow, Chuck McCann, and he was on, I think he was on WPIX Channel 11, and then Sonny Fox was on WNEW Channel 5 in New York City. Lived in New Jersey. And anyway, Chuck McCann would read the comics to the kids on Sunday morning. I always thought that would be a great thing. So now I got the chance to do it. So I'm going to read Shoe. Definitely one of my favorite Sunday comic strips, Shoe. And the wise old owl. No, wait, the little guy. I think that's his grandson or his nephew. I'm not sure. But the little guy here, here's the little guy. And he says to his grandfather or his uncle, whatever it is, I wonder what Robin Hood would be like if he got into politics. And of course, and there's I don't think this is Shoe himself. This is like one of the other characters, the old wise owl, the grandfather or the uncle. He's got the remote control there. And he says, he'd rob from the rich and keep it. So this is the Daily Sun comics. They put on the top, they put the Wizard of Id, first page above the fold. And they also put BC. So that's that. That was kind of fun reading a comic strip. Now I got some things here, Christmas oriented. The first thing is, I know my sister probably knows, my sister does know more about this than I do, but I was very fond of this. I think it was one of my mom's older sisters, my Aunt Ida, made these, and they have a lifesaver that knitted them or crocheted them, whatever you do. But there would be a roll of lifesavers in the stocking. So that was always kind of a neat thing. I've had this many moons, and this is my mom used to make these little miniature wreaths. This is kind of Christmas oriented. It's the red ribbon, the red lace, white ribbon, and the bell. Let's see, the bell does. But on the back has the magnet, and you can adhere it to basically the refrigerator. So I always kind of cherish that. Let me get a better grip on it, be able to see it better. So a miniature Christmas wreath that my mom had made. I kind of cherish that. It's interesting. I have down in my basement. I had I had an HO set, race car set, and then intertwined with it. I don't know how I did it. I think I had the 1/32 race cars on the outermost portion on this 2 big pieces of plywood, held up by the old wooden sawhorses in the basement, and then I had on the innermost track was a more intricate layout for the HO race cars. But this is actually the last of one of my race cars. I used to race the cars with my buddy Stu and George and Joey, and we raced my cousins Davey and Eddie, and we raced little cars down the basement. And then Stu and I I guess when we got in about 8th grade, we'd go to they had like a little hobby shop slot car setup on Route 23 in Wayne, and we used to go there and race the cars. But this is the last of one of my little slot cars. This is a Mustang, of course. No number on it. Now, if you were to go, but this is just for the home setup. But if you were to enter, they used to have big races at the slot car track in Wayne, slot car pavilion. They had 3 separate ones. Each one was more advanced than the other. And they would have about every hour, they'd have a big race, and you'd win like a half hour time or an hour of time. You get a little card. That's my Mustang. I'm kind of proud that I've had this since, oh my goodness, I got to stop saying I bet. Probably had this since, say 1961. So 60 years old, little Mustang there. And a few other things I've got here. I get this, my old friend, going back to 1st grade, usually gives me the wonderful little gift here of subscription to Sky and Telescope. And this one came in a wrapper, which I love it when it comes in the wrapper. And let me see, it doesn't say, it's hard to figure out your expiration with this. It's just a lot of numbers. But Sky and Telescope, great magazine, still in the wrapper. I wanted to show, how if you subscribe to this magazine, sometimes it comes in the wrapper, and I save the wrapper. What I do is, it's a little bit bigger, so I take this and I tape it here gives it a more of a snug fit. And I put a white backer board on the back, and I keep them. I've got about 3 years of Sky and Telescope. Great magazine, Sky and Telescope. I'm gonna open that up later and read my Sky and Telescope. Going through my comic books here. Batman 188 from December of 1966. I was in 8th grade at the time, and I was 13. So great. This is the Eraser. This is the first appearance of the Eraser. Not a major villain in the Batman. I had graded this a while back as good plus, and back about, I think I did this. I used to put the, I don't know what they call that, but anyway, the label maker thing, and good plus was 11.25, 10 years ago, but also I am leaning. The more I look at this, I'm leaning towards it being very good, which would put it, I would say this is probably going for $20, $25 at least. Let me see here. I think it had 2 stories in it. It was the Eraser story, and then the 10 best dressed corpses in Gotham City, Bat Thriller. Oh, here it is. What are the odds of this? This is kind of the setup I had. The Aurora. What are the odds? I mean, I didn't plan this. It's going to be hard to believe, but there's the. It's the 1966, 132nd. And there's the dad, probably the big brother and the little brother. They're all family. They're down in the rec room, the basement, racing the cars, and it's a Mustang. And a Mustang, the fastback Mustang, and here's my Mustang, the 1964 and a half Mustang. I didn't plan that. Scout's honor, it just was one of those things. The Revell model contest. This is the Revell model contest. In 7th grade, I won the 3rd prize for the Revell model contest. Why I like Revell models, 200 words or 300 words or less. And I think I got like 20 models, a huge box. And they weren't the cheap ones. It was a clipper ship, a John Glenn Friendship 7. It was, the high-end cars. And I think one was a Frankenstein or something, it was a pretty big size model, Frankenstein kind of thing. And I think I got like about 15 models, But here it is. This one was for the sailboat, winter reel sailboat. And there was a glitch on the one that for the Gemini. I looked it up on the internet. The kid could only keep it for a week. It was a prototype from NASA. I don't know how the Revell swung it, but it wasn't the Gemini that went in, but it was a prototype, and the kid was only allowed to keep it for a week, and then he had to give it to a local museum. But they put his name in a plaque, But this is the first appearance of the Eraser. This is all Bob Kane. Here's the famous Bob Kane. I want to be careful, but I don't want to ruin. That's the famous Bob Kane. I love the ads mostly. G.I. Joe. I never had a G.I. Joe. I never had a G.I. Joe doll. I don't know. It was like a legitimate way a boy could have a doll. Really, it's like. Let's see, Tyco. You see, slot racing was big in the 60s. There's Tyco, trains and slot cars. And I did a vlog recently on Nick's Trains. A fellow opened up a little store, a little hobby shop, train shop in Wildwood. This is Constructor. I never had this. I don't know what this was about. This. It was kind of a wannabe erector set, and that was put out by Revell. Like a couple of guys in a garage making these things, you know. What do we got here? AMT. They made pretty good models, AMT. I had a lot of AMT models. There's an ad for AMT models. AMT models were always white. And MPC models and MPC and I think it was IMT models, they were cast in, like, you know, the color of the car, that, you know, like a blue or red or whatever. But I remember AMT was always white, always white. Here's a great scene, you know, reminiscent of the TV show. Kind of, they set the pace, you know, sock, boom, bang, you know, that kind of thing. Right? You know, the comic book mimicked the TV show. You think that the TV show would be mimicking the comic book, and then the comic book, then it got to a point where the comic book was mimicking the TV show. It was kind of an interesting evolution. This is the M&E Toy Factory, and I had the Mattel toy maker. There it is. Really dangerous thing. I mean, you'd have on one half it was this plate, and it would get red hot, and you put the little plastic over it, would melt. The plastic would be in a melted state, secured. They called it vacuum form, and you flip it over and go, but that thing would get red hot. A dangerous toy. I mean, really. I don't even know how it got approved, but it was really a dangerous toy. You could take a drop of water and go, you know. Go Motorific, Torture Track. Again, slot cars in the 60s, that was the thing. You know, there was no computer, no computer games, not even Pac-Man, you know. Just go down in the basement and race the little cars, you know. This was really a classic example of the comic book mimicking the TV show. Pow, boom, bang, you know, they're fighting. Let's see now. Here's an ad for Aquaman. I always liked, I didn't have many Aquaman comic books. You get a quarter a week allowance. Comic books are 12 cents. I get two a week. And then Batman and Superman would have Giants about every 3 months. So, and then you had to buy a Mad magazine, of course. So it was tough. And then unless you get like your birthday or Christmas, and you get a few dollars ahead, you could, you know, stock up a little better on the comic books. Great comic book here. Oh man, it just used to, wasn't really that kind to my comic books, but I had a bucket in my tree fort, and you put the comic book in the bucket, then you climb the tree fort and you pull up the bucket and you read the comic book in the tree fort. Or we used to sleep out in the backyard and read comic books until we fell asleep. Great times. And DC, to distinguish itself from Marvel in the mid-60s, would have these checks on the top. And that was like if a kid liked DC, but it backfired. Because the kid that liked Marvel, he'd say, oh, they got the checks, it's DC, I want to get the Marvel. So they only did these checks for about 2 years. Good old times. Good old times. Man, we used to have a little candy store in town, right in the center of town, called Moe's Sweet Shop. Fella had the best display of comic books ever. Marvel, DC, Dell, Gold Key, and Gold Key did the futuristic guy, the robot fighter or something. Then Gold Key did Gold Flash Gordon. Then you had Beetle Bailey and Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, those kind. But great memories. There was something called Charlton comic books, and they had about race cars and motorcycles, and they had haunted stories, Charlton, and they didn't really have too many superhero comic books. They had kind of wannabe Twilight Zone stories, Charlton comic books. Great memories. This is kind of, the day after Christmas, Sunday morning, little walk down memory lane. So it was kind of fun. So I'm going to close, get a little sip of tea here. So stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. If you like this video, or even if you didn't like it, please hit the like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do subscribe. Appreciate it very much. And hit the light bulb on the right hand side gives you notifications when I put up new vlogs. So I'm going to sign off. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay safe. This is Richard Mabey signing off.